Gyro drums. This was, I would say, the biggest troublemaker for us of this whole project. There's always one animation that just seems to be a little bit more challenging and present a few more technical problems, and this was the one for Animusic too. And one of the things for me was how many different drums and percussion instruments there were and keeping track of them all. I actually had to spread them across 2 different MIDI keyboards because there was so many of them, and then I could never remember which drum was where on which key and what was the MIDI number and which channel was it routed to and which instrument object on the screen corresponded to which sound, and it was like the game of concentration. I can't ever remember what card is where, and here's a drum version of the game of concentration. Extremely frustrating. I ended up writing a bunch of software that would help me to keep track of things better and to make much more clear the correspondence between the, basically which drum was where. Plus the fact that I love writing software, so any excuse I have to write more software, I found one here and I had a good time. This started out, as many things do, sort of with a more simple initial vision, and it grew much in the same way that this contraption here is growing over time with more and more components being added to it. That's sort of how it went with the animation. We started with a more simple kind of vision and then kind of kept adding to it. So we could add this on and we could have more of this, and then this could attach here, and it just kept growing and growing. Kind of like it does here, not in exactly the same order, but it ultimately got a little out of hand. But it was a lot of fun to see it come together. Well, I have someone special with me here doing the director's commentary. It's my son Andrew, who's 9. He's 9 right now, at least when we're recording it. If you're watching this years from now, he'll be older. But anyway, why don't you say hi?
Hi.
And do you want to tell us anything about this animation?
Well, this part is really colorful, and I think it took Dad a very long time to make it. It's my favorite animation because right now it's coming to the electric drum part.
Oh, this is your favorite part here, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you like about this part?
I just like the electric drums, the sound they make and all.
Well, thanks for your comments, Andrew. Speaking of the electric drums, and the surround sound soundtrack on this DVD, I panned them in a very extreme way. They sort of bounce all over the room, which is kind of fun. In general, though, I've kept the surround sound mix a little bit more tame. It's actually an interesting challenge to figure out the instrument placement in the 5/1 mix, because on one hand, you've got these visual cues right in front of you of the actual positions visually, but if you constrain yourself to mixing according to those positions, everything would come out essentially of the center speaker and maybe a little left and right. But if you do too much of an extreme surround mix, it's almost disorienting and conflicting with what you see on the screen.